99% of people fail at productivity. They treat it like a sprint. And the remaining 1%? They rely on systems that make their success automatic. This video shows you that system. No fluff. Stick around until the end, where I give you the execution blueprint. Before we dive in, here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. Productivity systems don't fail because they're bad systems. They fail because we're trying to install Ferrari engines into broken-down cars. Chapter 1. The 90-second rule. Before we dive into why systems fail, let me give you something that works immediately. Did you know that no emotion lasts longer than 90 seconds unless you feed it? That's right. The actual physiological response of any emotion naturally dissipates in just a minute and a half. Here's what happens in your brain. When an emotion triggers, your body releases a flood of chemicals. These chemicals physically course through your body and are completely flushed out within 90 seconds, unless you keep the circuit going with your thoughts. This isn't positive thinking nonsense. It's neuroscience. What keeps emotions lingering isn't the emotion itself, but the stories we tell ourselves that re-trigger the chemical response. So, next time you feel overwhelmed by your to-do list, try this instead of panicking. Notice the physical sensations. Maybe tightness in your chest or heat in your face. Then simply count to 90 while breathing. Don't fight the feeling. Just observe it passing through you like a wave. You'll literally feel the physical intensity subsiding as the chemicals flush out. This simple awareness gives you incredible power over productivity overwhelm. Chapter 2. The shiny object trap. Now, why do most productivity systems fail? Over the weekend, you discover a new productivity tool on YouTube. You think, this is it. This is the one that will finally organize your life. But by Friday, you still haven't touched it. And by the following Monday, you've come full circle. You've found another viral productivity video that promises life transformation. This is shiny object syndrome, and it's killing your productivity. But why does this happen? Your brain is wired to seek novelty. It's a survival mechanism. In the wild, paying attention to new things kept our ancestors alive. In the modern world, it keeps us distracted. The productivity industry knows this. They design systems that feel revolutionary, that feel new and exciting. But here's what they won't tell you. The problem isn't your tools. The problem is your foundation. You're trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. Chapter 3. The environmental reset solution. Here's the first layer that actually works. Your environment is your external brain, and right now it's probably sabotaging you. That pile of papers you've been ignoring for 3 weeks? Every visual distraction is a cognitive burden. Every misplaced item is a decision you'll have to make later. Your environment should make good choices easy and bad choices hard. Want to read more? Put books everywhere. Hide the TV remote. Want to eat healthier? Put fruits on the counter. Hide the junk food. Want to focus better? Remove everything from your desk except what you need for the current task. This isn't about being a minimalist, it's about being intentional. Every object in your environment is either helping or hurting your productivity. There's no neutral. The most productive people design their environment like a video game. Easy mode for good habits. Impossible mode for bad ones. Chapter 4. The cognitive load. Your brain has a dirty little secret. It can only hold about 7 pieces of information at once. Give or take 2. This is called your working memory, and it's the bottleneck of all productivity. Every open browser tab, every unfinished task, every I should remember thought, all of it is taking up precious mental real estate. Think of your brain like a computer with limited memory. The more programs you have running, the slower everything gets. Eventually, it just crashes. That moment when you open your mouth to say something important and completely forget what it was, that's not age. That's cognitive overload. Your brain literally can't process any more information. So it starts dropping things. Important things. Like where you put your keys, or that meeting you scheduled. The solution isn't more organization, it's less cognitive burden. Chapter 5. The energy management system. Here's where most people get it completely wrong. Time management is dead. Energy management is the future. You don't have a time problem, you have an energy problem. Think about it. You have 24 hours whether you're at your peak or completely drained. Your output can vary by 1,000% depending on your energy level. Yet we obsess over time and ignore energy. That's like focusing on the speedometer while ignoring whether your car has gas. Your energy operates on 4 levels. Physical energy. how your body feels, emotional energy, your mood and feelings, mental energy, your ability to focus and think clearly, spiritual energy, your sense of purpose and meaning. Most productivity systems only address one level, usually mental. But if you're physically exhausted, emotionally drained, and spiritually empty, all the organization in the world won't help. You need a system that manages all four types of energy. That's where the magic happens. Chapter 6. The Rhythm Creation Framework. Here's how to work with your energy instead of against it. Successful people don't rely on daily decisions. They rely on weekly rhythms. Your circadian rhythm controls when you feel alert, tired, creative, or analytical. Fighting it is like swimming upstream, exhausting and ineffective. Most people do their most important work when they feel worst, then wonder why everything is so hard. Your brain has natural peaks and valleys throughout the day. Peak 1, 2 of 4 hours after waking. Best for deep analytical work. Valley 1, mid-afternoon. Time for administrative tasks or rest. Peak 2, early evening. Good for creative work or planning. Work with your rhythm, not against it. Schedule your hardest tasks during Peak 1. Use Valley 1 for email, meetings, or learning new skills. Use Peak 2 for creative projects or strategic thinking. This alone can double your effective productivity. Same effort, better timing, dramatically different results. Chapter 7. The Biological Truth About Procrastination. But why do we procrastinate even when we know better? Your brain doesn't care about your to-do list. It cares about survival. And according to your brain, everything on your to-do list is a potential threat. That report you need to finish? Threat. The email you need to send? Threat. The project you're avoiding? Mega threat. Your brain's primary job is to keep you alive, not productive. So when it sees a long list of tasks, it activates your stress response, fight, flight, or freeze. None of these are particularly helpful for getting work done. This is why you procrastinate on important tasks. Your brain is literally protecting you from what it perceives as danger. The solution isn't to fight your biology, it's to work with it. You need to convince your brain that productivity is safe. Here's how you do it. Chapter 8. The Atomic Habit Bridge. The smallest sustainable action is more powerful than the largest unsustainable one. James Clear popularized this in Atomic Habits, but most people misunderstand the principle. They think atomic habits are about doing tiny things. They're actually about removing friction. Every habit has a friction coefficient. That is the amount of resistance you feel when trying to do it. High friction habits require massive willpower. Low friction habits happen almost automatically. Want to read more? Don't commit to reading for an hour. Commit to opening a book. Want to exercise? Don't plan a 60-minute workout. Commit to putting on your gym shoes. Want to tackle that scary project? Don't commit to finishing it. Commit to opening the document. The magic isn't in the action, it's in the activation. Once you start, momentum carries you forward. This works because it bypasses your brain's threat detection system. Chapter 9. The Context Switching Killer. But even with good habits, there's one productivity assassin that kills everything. Multitasking is a lie. Your brain doesn't multitask. It task switches, and every switch has a cost. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon found that even brief interruptions can double the time it takes to complete a task. Double. As in 100% longer. That notification ping? It just cost you 23 minutes of focus to fully recover. That quick check of social media? You're done for the next hour. Your brain needs time to reload context, like a computer switching between programs. The more switches, the slower everything gets. This is why you can feel busy all day but accomplish nothing meaningful. You're not actually working, you're context switching. The solution is batching. Group similar tasks together. Minimize context switches. Check YouTube once or twice a day, not 47 times. Schedule social media time instead of scrolling randomly. Create focus blocks for deep work. Chapter 10. The Priority Revolution. Here's where most people's systems completely break down. Everything is important. Nothing is important. That's the priority paradox, and it's paralyzing millions of people. When everything is a priority, nothing is. Your to-do list has 30 items and somehow they're all urgent. That's not priorities, that's panic. Real priorities are rare, like 1 to 3 things per day rare. The rest is just noise. Warren Buffett has a simple exercise for this. Write down your top 25 goals. Circle your top 5. Everything else? Those are your avoid at all costs list. Not someday, not when you have time. Avoid at all costs. Because they're not just less important, they're actively preventing you from achieving what matters most. Your attention is finite, your energy is limited. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that could change your life. Chapter 11. The Weekly Review System. Most people plan daily and wonder why they never make progress on big goals. That's like navigating with a microscope instead of a map. Daily planning is tactical. Weekly planning is strategic. Every Sunday, spend 30 minutes on 3 questions. What did I accomplish last week? What are my priorities for next week? What obstacles might I face and how will I handle them? This isn't just planning, it's learning. You're training your brain to see patterns. Why did Tuesday go so well? What made Thursday a disaster? When do you do your best work? When do you consistently struggle? Over time, you start to see your personal productivity patterns, your unique peak times, your common failure points, your environmental triggers. This intelligence becomes your competitive advantage. Most people repeat the same mistakes every week. You'll be systematically eliminating yours. The weekly review transforms random productivity into deliberate practice. Chapter 12. The Execution Framework. Now we get to the moment of truth. You've designed your environment. You understand your rhythms. You've identified your priorities. But execution is where most people still fail. Because execution isn't about willpower. It's about decision architecture. Every moment of your day, you're making a choice. Check social media or start working. Tackle the hard task or do something easy. Push through or take a break. The wrong choice feels easier in the moment. The right choice serves your future self. Here's the execution framework that changes everything. The 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. The energy match. Match task difficulty to your current energy level. The context lock. Once you start a context, stay in it until complete. These 3 rules eliminate 90% of productivity friction. No complex systems, no elaborate planning. Just simple rules that guide moment-to-moment decisions. Chapter 13. The Implementation Strategy. Don't try to implement everything at once. That's the fastest way to implement nothing. You know what most people do after watching a productivity video? They try to redesign their entire life by Tuesday. How's that working out for literally everyone? Start with one layer, master it, then add the next. Think of it like learning to drive. You don't start on the highway during rush hour, you start in an empty parking lot. In weeks 1 and 2, focus only on environmental design. Clear your workspace. Remove distractions. Set up visual cues. That's it. Don't touch anything else. Your brain will want to do more. Resist that urge. In weeks 3 and 4, add rhythm awareness. Notice your natural energy patterns. Start matching tasks to energy levels, still ignoring everything else we talked about. In weeks 5 and 6, implement weekly reviews. For 30 minutes every Sunday, track patterns and adjust strategies. By the end of week 6, your environment is automatic. Your rhythm awareness is building. Week 7 and 8 should be about applying execution rules. These are the 2-minute rule, energy matching, and context locking. By week 8, you'll have a complete system. But here's what's really happening underneath. You're not just building a productivity system. You're rewiring your brain to believe you can actually change. That's the real transformation. Most people live their entire lives thinking they're just not organized people. You'll have 8 weeks of evidence proving otherwise. That identity shift, that's permanent. Even if you slack off later, you'll know exactly how to get back on track because you've built the neural pathways for success. Chapter 14. The Meta System. Here's the final piece that ties everything together. The most productive people don't just use systems. They think in systems. They see their entire life as interconnected processes that can be optimized, not just work productivity, life productivity. How you sleep affects how you think. How you think affects how you work. How you work affects how you feel. How you feel affects how you sleep. Everything is connected. When you understand this, you stop looking for productivity hacks. You start building lifestyle systems. Systems that make you healthier, happier, and more productive simultaneously. That's when productivity stops feeling like work. It becomes the natural expression of a well-designed life. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be systematic. Start today. Pick one layer. Build the foundation. Your future self is counting on you. What's one productivity myth you believed for too long? Drop it in the comments.